Hey guys, welcome back to LetCode. In this video, we're going to learn how to do the validation of a sorting table. So in previous video, we learned like how to handle a simple web table. Like based on last time, we have click on this radio button, and then we have done this like getting all the prices, and we have done some calculation to find the total. Today, we are going to learn about this sortable table. For example, let's say that we have this desert as a header, right? So when I click on this, you can see like if it's up arrow in the sense like it will be like your ascending order. So you can see like C, E, F, G and I. And if I click on this again, so it's going to be like your down arrow. So here it's like ice cream, gingerbread, F, E and C, right? So basically we have like ascending and descending. If I click on this again, it will be like the default one. So once we load the page, you can see like we have the default like frozen ice cream and eclair. So it is basically not sorted. So personally I will not consider this to be in the automation. This basically like it's a plugin that is already tested and we just used in our website. Or if the unit test is working fine, probably I will not consider this to in the automation. If I have to consider, probably I will just take one particular row, or maybe like one entire one column data, or particular one entire row. Okay, that is how I will test. But just for the sake of learning, if we have to do this automation, I will tell you like how to do it. Okay, so first of all, let's go and inspect this table. Of course, we have to find the table first. And if you go here in previous both the videos, if you notice something, like we are finding the table, and from the table we are finding the body, right? Why we are doing in the sense like if I go and find the table body directly, there are multiple tables in our page, right? So definitely it will give us like multiple elements. But when I restrict my locator to a specific table, like this table, shopping table, from there I am finding the body. So this is the difference between like directly. If I say like page dot locator t body, that means it will return as 3 t body because we have like multiple tables. If I restrict the scope, then obviously it will find within that particular table. Okay, so that is the thing I wanted to mention here. Okay, now of course we have this website, then we have this table which has a CSS of mat sort table, right? So I'm just going to copy this, and here I'm going to say like const table equal to page dot locator and the locator value. Okay, so that's it. We are able to find our table. Now from the table, of course we have to again find the header, we have to find the rows and columns. We already learned it, but here the difference is we have to see how the sorting works. So we have to find a specific way how the sorting is actually working. Okay, so if I click on this, you can see like some things are changing here, right? So if you see the DOM, let me scroll it up a little bit and zoom it. Okay, so if you see, if I click on this desert, you can see like desert, you can see something changing here, like area sort equal to ascending. Then if I click on this again, you can see like it's now descending, and if I click again, it's basically none. That means the default view. So we have to find this header guy, and we have to take the value whether we have to perform the ascending or descending or the none. Okay, so here I can see like I have two CSS. One is this one. This looks good, so let me copy this one. So this is my header, right? Header of the first column, that is desert column. So let's name it like desert equal to from the table I want to find this locator and this one. Okay, now of course I have to use the get attribute to identify like whether we have this ascending or descending, right? So what we'll do, we'll say like sort type, let's name it like sort type equal to, and I can say like this is the header. Okay, so wait, dot get attribute, and the attribute name is this is going to return me the value. Okay, so yeah, based on this click we will get the sorting type. Okay, now of course I have to get all the what is this, all the this thing, right? So this data I have to get. So this is very simple actually. Basically it's within the TD and within the TR. Okay, so first of all what we have to, and if you see in this particular table there is also not table body, there is no table body, it's basically like table header and then it starts with the table rows. Okay, so here I can say like from my table I want to get the all the rows, not all the rows, yeah, all the rows, but I want to get only the first column, right? So here I can say like dot locator of td. Will that work? I don't think so. Let's store it as a row itself. So const deserts row, desert. Okay, and from there I have to loop through each and every post first of all, correct? Or else what we can do, we can just take the XPath. Okay, so not necessarily always we should go to the rows and then we have to iterate through the columns, right? So I can directly go with the this thing itself. Okay, so for example this the XPath, I guess. Okay, this is giving me, yeah, something like this. Okay, so here we got this. Okay, then if I just go to like 2, this is not this one. Okay, so this is going to be my like 2. Okay, probably I can go with this, or else I can just simply remove the tr slash td. Yeah, so we got all the 5 rows, right? So I can just copy this and I can make it like this. And what I want to do is I wanted to print and see whether it's correct or not. Okay, so for that I'm going to use the await, then followed by my desert row dot all text content. Okay, here we should not use text content, that will return the text of a particular element. If I use all inner text, that means it will give us the all the text. That means text content will always try to find one particular element and then it will give us the result, whereas desert row in the sense like this is basically multiple, right? So if I change this to let's see, I'm going to change this to text content. Now if I run this, we are going to end up with an exception, because what is this? This is basically going to return us multiple locators, not a single locators. But in this scenario we want to find multiple locators with multiple text, right? So for that, of course, we have to go with like all text content, not the text content. In this case we are going to get an error saying that multiple locators are there, strict mode violation error. Okay, and it's just waiting for some reason. Let's see. We have like default of 30 seconds in the Playwright config file, that's why it's like trying to find if there is any one match. Since we have like multiple match, of course it's going to throw us the error. Let's wait and see. Okay, so here we got the error, and if you see the output, yeah, basically couldn't find, but yeah, but you got the idea, right? So we'll end up with an exception, but not the exception I was expecting. Okay, anyways, so this is the thing we want now, so let me go with this one. Okay, now what we are going to do is, so this is already giving me the format of array, right? So I can just store it here. So here I can say like, let me store this as an array. So const original, okay, so this is going to be my original data. Let me just print it out. So log, okay. Now once I click on this header, right, so what is our header? This is our header, right? So once I click on that, I have to find whether it's a ascending order or the descending order. So of course we can say like once I click it, the first one is going to be like ascending, but just to make sure, we are just going to use the sort type as well. Okay, so for example, here I'm going to do the click. So this guy dot click, and then followed by I'm going to get the sort type. Okay, so first it's going to be like none, so let me print it out here. So it's going to be like, okay, so this is we going to like initial sort type, which is going to be in the format of none. Okay, so second time of course we have to get the thing again, right? So we can again use this one. We should not use the sort type variable again and again, because once we get this is going to be like static. It doesn't go and check for the locator again. But if I use the locator for every each and action, it's going to get the new instance of that particular locator. Okay, so here I can use this one. So like desert dot get attribute and of the area sort. Okay, I hope you understood this. So string, it will just store the string once and we'll get the same string. If I use the same variable again and again, it will get the same string. But if I use the locator basically have the functionality of whenever you reuse the locator, it will check the state of the element in the DOM and then it will return us. Okay, so that's the difference. Now let me store this here. So here I'm going to make it like, I can just reuse the same value, I guess, or I can make it like article. Okay, yeah. Now what we are going to do is we are just going to print it again. So we are expecting like ascending, I guess. Yes. Okay, so we are expecting like ascending, and once we do the ascending, what will happen? We have to change. So already we have the original data, we have to sort, right? So for example, I can say like original data dot sort. So it's array, of course it will do the sorting and it will store in the same array. Now I have to get this guy again, right? So for here I can use the same, and then I can say like, if you want you can write the expect, but for the sake I will just go with the console log for now, just to show you. Okay, and here also we are expecting ascending. Okay, let's go and run this now. Let's see what happens. So when I say like original data dot sort, it will just do the sorting like ascending order by default. But to do the uh, descending order, of course we have learned that in our what we call that JavaScript series itself. Okay, that will be easy, I'll show you. But here we didn't get anything actually. Okay, that's really good thing. So let's go and inspect this. I think there is some error with this thing. Let's go and it out. Okay, this particular XPath is correct only, and here so we are getting all text content which should return original data. But what happened in our case? We didn't get anything, which is a bit of strange. Okay, so the one mistake we have done here is like it's basically like we are targeting from the table, but the XPath is not within the table, it should be within the page. Okay, so that's the thing. Okay, now I understood, like when we previously use all text content, instead of this we have used the inner text, but we didn't get the actual expected error message, right? I will show you that in a moment. So basically this XPath is like your multiple matches. In Playwright, if there is multiple matches, of course it is going to return us like strict mode violation error. Right, you remember, right? So here you can see like first is none, which is like frozen yogurt. That is what we saw in the thing in the page. And then when we do the ascending, it's printing ascending again. Why? Yeah, so expecting ascending, and why is the console? Yeah, so then here you can see like we are expecting ascending, so that is what we have got here. And once we do the ascending, here you can select upkeep C F G ice cream, right? So we got the exact ascending order. Now let's see how to do the same descending. Before that, here instead of all text content, if I use like uh, text content, it will actually throw me error. Okay, so here of course we cannot sort it because it's not going to give us the array. But if I run this now, you see that XPath we have used is basically like multiple matches, and we know in Playwright it will be like strict mode violation error. So when I use the function called text content, basically it will throw us error saying that resolve to 5 elements, and we cannot get that. Okay, so locator should be always unique. But if I say like all text contents, that means it is going to return us. So how many matches you have, based on that it's going to return us the text. That's the difference. Okay, now let's see how to do the same, but in a descending. Okay, I'm just going to use this as a function, so I'm going to like repeat the steps. So I'm just going to convert this into a function, sort table, and within the sort table function we have this guy, right? So first of all, of course, we are going to click on this and we are expecting ascending, and we'll sort the original data, and then we'll get this as thing. Okay, now what we have to is we have to write a conditional statement here. So if sort equals to so here you can see like we have this descending, right? So let me copy. So if it's descending, we are going to do something, and if it's ascending, we are going to do something, right? So let's copy paste, and here okay. So for the ascending, of course we know, so I can just cut and copy paste. So we'll get the like we'll sort the data, and then we'll just print, right? So similar thing here, also very similar thing. So here what we are expecting, here we are expecting this to be like descending, and the data is going to be like the same thing. But the difference here is within this function, what can I do is I can simply override the function. So here I can say like a comma b, and then b should be local compare to a. Okay, so in the sorting, what happens is basically we get like two things to sort. So if I say like a local compare to b, that means like ascending. If I say like b local compare to a, that means it's like descending. Already we have discussed in detail in our JavaScript tutorial, so if you haven't watched that, please kindly go through that. Okay, and of course it's going to return a string, so we are doing this like local compare. If it's going to be like numerical, we have to say like b negative a, that b minus a. Okay, yeah, so for none also you can write. So for the none, we don't have to do anything, just basically it's going to give us the same thing. Okay, now I'm going to call this few times. Okay, so for example, let's write it for none as well. So here I can select, or else it's going to be in the else condition. We just have to print the actual data. Okay, don't have to do anything else here, I guess, expecting this to be none. Okay, so this is my original data and this is my initial start. I'm going to comment few lines just for a good output. Okay, so now here I can log this. First we will do the ascending, and then we'll do the descending. So I can call the same function again, so it will just work. Okay, and then we'll just do the log none. So if I call the function again, of course I'm doing the print statement just to show you the output, but you can write the expect as well. That should also work fine. So it will go and click that reset for 3 times. Okay, now if I go to the logs, so here I can access the log. Okay, yeah, so this is the original, like frozen yogurt, we got the same. Then we are doing the ascending order, and the data type is like on that particular element, the attribute is ascending. So you can select cupcake, eclair, frozen yogurt, gingerbread, and ice cream. So CEF, which is correct. And then we are doing the descending, so it should be like the reverse: ice cream, gingerbread, frozen, eclair, cupcake, which is also correct. And then we are expecting none, so none is like your same like original, so we got the same thing here as well, right? So that's it, very, very simple. You can convert this function more like reusable, so you can just pass like header name, based on that it will do the sorting. Okay, so usually I will not handle this in my automation because these are already like third-party things which is just used, and if the unit test is passing, then definitely I don't have to use the UI automation. What I have to check, I have to check maybe the data, or maybe like the headers, and that's it, I guess. I will not prefer to automate this, but yeah, just in case if you have to do it, you can do this in this way. Okay, so that's it for this video. I hope you have understood how to do it, and thanks for watching. See you in the next one very soon. If you have any queries, feel free to ask me in the comments or join our Discord community for more detail. Tada, bye bye, take care.